I am Ezio Auditore da Firenze of the Assassin Order, and I will take my revenge on you, Rodrigo Borgia.
How is it you resist?
What? It's Desmond. I don't understand.
Okay. This is real. All right, let's get to it. Yes.
In the age of 2009, the first Assassin's Creed game already been sold 10 million copies, and besides Ubisoft's other franchises such as Tom Clancy, Rayman, Far Cry, and of course the Prince of Persia, the franchise needed to more or so make its mark, and it didn't really make its mark until Assassin's Creed 2, which, with the new setting and a new protagonist, who knows what was going to happen and what was going to be like with the game. Those 2 years, I mean, I would have been hyped, you know, if I was old enough to play this game. Going as Desmond into the annals again, set in Florence, Italy in the 1400s, Assassin's Creed 2 focuses on a young adult named Ezio Auditore da Firenze, who seeks revenge on his family over a man named Rodrigo Borgia, who has the Staff of Eden, in which Ezio needs to retrieve by teaming up and becoming an assassin, and is accompanied by the likes of Leonardo da Vinci and more. I really like what the writers have done with this in Assassin's Creed 2 by not only giving its main character some gravitas, but by giving him charm and depth to the story. And it's just really cool to see that at the same time with all the emotions going through of what Rodrigo did to Ezio's family. Furthermore, Ezio then becomes accompanied by a man named Mario, who is not a plumber who takes out pipes and jumps on Goombas, but he teaches the ways of the assassin to Ezio and how to take down the Templars. And it is at the Montegiorno, and it really shows of what being an assassin is and its importance to Ezio and the character of it. And as the story progresses, you as Ezio then assassinate each of the Borgia's cult members, which continue in the different plot threads. And throughout the time jumps, we get to see how Ezio evolves from a young and immature person to someone who is a fully fledged assassin. This was really enjoyable too, as it really fleshes out the story, and it reminded me of The Lion King, where the villain becomes dumber and slower while the main hero gets more smarter and stronger. And the assassin has to get the Piece of Eden, which we already have from AC1, so we're good. But this time it's a staff. Now, the staff is very important, as the Ezio and his clan, as well as Mario, all the Montegiorno members, has to get all the codex in order to get through it. And the final climax, you know, it just goes a bit left field. But I mean, you know, like Ezio not killing the villain, you know, it just doesn't really make any sense in this sort of outlet. You know, I know it's the Ubisoft, the creators of Ubisoft are meant to be historically accurate by not really killing Borgia or unaliving Borgia in that sort of way, because he didn't really die in real life. So I understand, but it just kind of doesn't really make any sense, you know, in a story sense for AC2. So, but like, how do we go from this
Buonasera, Via. We were just talking about you. I'm surprised to see you here.
to this?
Names. When I died, it was Minerva. Before that, Merva and Mera. And on.
It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Like, you know, I mean, the story was fun. It was fun. First off, Ezio's character was great because you really get to see his charming and comedic side. But you also get to see his more confident side later on as an assassin of the Assassin Order. And the way that you get to see his interactions with the characters is just so interesting. And for me, throughout the story, the fact that Leonardo da Vinci was responsible for making the weapons for Ezio is just so damn cool. It's so awesome. And, you know, like, it's just really, really, like, cool. And it's just like, he's like the Q for Ezio's James Bond, you know? Like, the one who manufactures the different inventions and, you know, the different sort of, you know, weapons and things. It's just awesome. And, you know, Mario as well teaches Ezio the typical sort of assassin things, like how to fight and how to assassinate Templars, and showing the meaning of what an assassin is. You know, Mario can become comedic at times, where, you know, his introduction, he's like,
It's a me, Mario.
gameplay is very immersive, as you get to see the change of the camera angle from being completely zoomed out as it was in AC1 to more zoomed in AC2 to really show the atmosphere of Italy, and, you know, to really put it in a more structured and idealistic third-person perspective. And the combat, like, so much of that is improved. And furthermore, you can use a wrist pistol, which is crazy. And you can also use two hidden blades, yes, I said blades, in both the combat as well as a knife, which they're not really the same thing. So much of that is improved with the different counters and the different grab attacks. Unfortunately though, they took out the heavy and light attacks from AC1, but fortunately you can use that in the different effects. There are still viewpoints and jumping off hay bales with other various things, such as eavesdropping on people and chasing them, which is really weird. And the most fun part of the gameplay is taking out the weapons by just using simple buttons and simple controls. And yeah, you know, like it's like really awesome. And the most fun part of the gameplay is taking the weapons off the Templars. It's like, you hit me with your weapon, well, I'm Ezio and I'm gangster, and I'm going to take your weapon and hit it back at you. And like, it's just really, really cool. And like, the art direction, however, is very dense and bland in Assassin's Creed 2, mainly because of its age. And whether that's a bad thing or not, and you know, like, the Desmond levels can be a bit repetitive, considering that there is nothing you can do as Desmond, and you basically just hop in and out of the Animus, you know, each time a sequence is done. But yeah, you know, I think the gameplay is very good and it really does revolutionize what Assassin's Creed is. Overall, Assassin's Creed 2 is interesting enough with the gameplay, the soundtrack, and the setting, as well as the story. It really mixes into a nice sort of package of what an Assassin's Creed game should be. And assassinating each of the Borgia targets and just, really satisfying. And being in Italy, it's really awesome and cool. And, Assassin's Creed 2 might have aged throughout the years. But overall,